Creamer Media's Mining Weekly is interviewing Danie Pretorius, the CEO of Master Drilling, and we're interviewing him on the 2023 full year results. This is a stock exchange-listed company that specializes in rock boring and exploration drilling, and it's based in Fochville on Gauteng's West Rand. What, in your view, were Master Drilling's main highlights in 2023?
I think the record revenue is certainly, I think, up 7.3%, if not mistaken, is certainly, but more important is the safety performance of the group. It's the best ever, LTIFR of 0.5, Martin, certainly for a service provider in this space is certainly a remarkable achievement. So that's probably top of mind. And then again, revenue, I think revenue nicely up. The working capital or the cash conversion, we've been nailed to the wall in the past for our cash conversion and especially working capital. I think nice improvement on that. Then a record order book, despite this volatility and this uncertainty in the world. I think that's something that we're quite chuffed about. And probably the last one is the advancements and progress made in the mechanical cutting, which I think is going to be key for this business and the industry going forward. I think huge progress made in that space.
And then you also had a dividend to declare.
Yes, Martin, I think we've always said that we would like to have some sort of a hybrid approach to the shareholders and investment. And until such time that we're really rolling out some of those more expensive machines that we're busy trying to develop for the mechanical cutting, we would probably continue to, subject obviously to the profitability of the group, we would keep on paying a dividend of a kind.
And talking about that mechanical cutting, can you give us more insight into it and why you believe it's going to be so meaningful?
Well, I think we all agree today, speaking to the miners, that, if you look in the world, the easy founds has been mined. I think all the easy reserves, I think long gone are the days. So we need to probably today focus on how we can help the miners to go down to find and mine successfully these deeper reserves. Grade is not getting better. And the logistics in the areas where these so-called new founds is going to be mined is not that easy. So I think what we need to do from a company and what we're busy with today is to try and develop mechanical cutting systems to actually get down to those deeper levels. And with the emphasis on speed, I think long gone are the days where we investor would wait 10, 15 years for some dividends or some cash flows from a project. So we need to squeeze down on the timing, and hence the reason why we invested a lot of time and money in a mechanical shaft boring system, which we currently prototype being commissioned in Fochville. The MTB, which we've tried at Magalakwena, the PDC blade project that's currently being sponsored by De Beers and Anglo, and the arm reef cutting system that's currently being commissioned here in our works. So I think, in short, the emphasis is going to be on mechanical cutting, trying to help the miners to get down to depth in a much shorter space of time.
And once they get down there, do they still use the cutting system to mine?
Ideally, if in a perfect world, maybe not in my lifetime, but maybe in 10, 20 years today, if you can mechanically bore a shaft to 1-2 kilometers, get down to depth, and then do the horizontal development with some sort of an MTB or mechanical cutting means, and then go into your stopes or your reef with the reef cutting system which we're developing, then you probably have most of the tools in a box to mechanically mine in the future.
And then what will happen to explosives that we traditionally used?
I think, Martin, that's going to be phased out for a number of reasons. I think, the safety, the re-entry times, and a number of other reasons. I think the damage you do to your rock environment, geology. I think there's a number of reasons why I believe explosives in time is going to be phased out. Will it be in the next 10 years? Probably not. But I really think there's a lot of companies, OEMs today, developing systems and ways to mechanically cut rock to move away from explosives.
And swinging into this year, talking about order books, how are you comparing with last year? Does it look like you're still going to be quite robust going forward in terms of orders?
Yeah, I think, Martin, we up again from last year. I think our new order book is 288 opposed to 265 last year. Pipeline slightly down, but I think the strategy of the business, especially diversification in the world, in the group, is certainly still has some good state. And still, one of the key strategic pillars of the business is to spread the wings as wide as possible and go into areas probably where there's a bit more risk, we always said, with high risk come high returns, but diversification is probably the outcome of the record order book for 23.
And you are in rock bore and exploration drilling services. And in 2023, what was the demand like? Do you get an equal demand for both, or is there a bigger demand for, say, exploration drilling?
Martin, no, the exploration business in our world is minute. It's probably 5 to 6, 7% of the total business. And so no, the exploration business and exploration in our business, our group is only being done in SA. And you know what is happening in SA with the bureaucracy, with the licenses and the applications that's been stuck with the DMR. So it's probably focused today only in the SA space, and we're currently rolling it out to Saudi and Angola and north of Limpopo. So I think in the next 5 years, we would probably see more exploration work being done in the world, outside the boundaries of South Africa. That's part of the strategy.
And from what part of the world do you get most of your business?
Africa's been very good. I mean, we've been doing business in Africa for just about 40 years, and most of the clients we've got a very good relationship with the miners up in Africa, and we see Africa, Europe, maybe India, the last couple of years coming through. That's going to be key for the future of this business. I think there's a lot of miners currently entering Africa, which is unusual 5 to 10 years ago. All of a sudden, we see some of these larger mining houses moving into the DRC, which was a no-go area for them. So I really think there's going to be more of the leading first-year mining companies moving into Africa. And I think in time to come, and medium term, most certainly, there's going to be a lot of business for this type of company in Africa.
Every time we get a presentation from Northam Platinum, they always rave about the project you're undertaking for them. And what exactly are you doing there? And could this benefit other mining companies?
I think the comparison for Northam at the time was to sink a 10, 12-meter shaft, which would probably take them 8 to 10 years, and wait to get the benefit after 10 years or even longer. And if you look at the capital versus the 3 or 4 raise bore holes, and where you can probably get the upside of the first raise bore hole within 3 years, I think that goes without saying. I think that's one. 2, obviously the luxury which you have, the levers you can pull if the market turns on you, like what we saw last year. Obviously you can postpone some of these raise bore holes to be drilled, but you still have the upside of the holes that was already drilled. And I think the benefit, what the industry will take from what Northam, at the time agreed with us in terms of risk, is can you actually drill over 1.5 kilometers a straight hole, straight by definition, where you can actually equip the shaft, which was unusual. 10 years ago, nobody wanted to risk that. And I think, Northam and the management of Northam decided to take the risk. And obviously, we partake at the time in this risk, and it turned out to be successful. So I really think the industry could benefit big time from what we've achieved and what Northam achieved with the raise bore holes down to 1.5 kilometers.
And time is money, so if you do it so quickly, I mean, there must be huge advantages.
Absolutely, no doubt.
And what are the prospects like now in South Africa? We always look in South Africa, of course, because we're here. And do you think the cadastre system coming through may increase demand for your services? What does it look like?
That's the million-dollar question, Martin. We've always said, if you look at the South African industry, mining industry, and you just take a step back, if you look at the gold miners, I think the one that's still in business and doing okay is Harmony. If you look at the PGMs, I think the 2 that's probably top the list is Anglo Platinum and Northam. And then you've got some diamond miners, which is De Beers. But that's pretty much the mining in SA. And then you've got the iron ore and manganese in the Northern Cape. But that's pretty much SA. So I hate to say it too loud. We've got some loyal clients, and we will always be supportive of those clients. But in terms of growth in SA, I hate to say it loud, but I don't think there's much growth going to come, in our business from SA. I don't think so.
And the acronym ESG is on everyone's lips, and the E for environment is always bandied about the place. Does that have any impact on what you do in terms of the energy that you use? Do they want you to use clean energy, or can you get away with using diesel? What do you use?
Look, Martin, we're fortunate in the raise bore, which is probably 70% or 80% of the business today. We've been supplied power from the mines. So we just step into their power source. That being said, the miners, as part of the ESG plans, insist that we actually measure our CO2 per kilogram per meter drilled, or as an output. So I think where we are today is just to measure what we're consuming, and then obviously agree on initiatives to probably deal with the reduction thereof in time to come.
And finally, Danie, what in your view should be the biggest takeaway from today's results presentation?
Well, yeah, I don't want to say it too loud, but I think our commitment to try and make a difference in the industry, I think that goes without saying. I really think, for the second time, if we can succeed and roll out some of the projects that we're busy with to further improve, enhance these mining projects, which will take forever and a day with the current methodology, I really think, that's something that we can probably brag about.
That was Creamer Media's Mining Weekly, speaking to Danie Pretorius, the CEO of Master Drilling.